Okay. Hi, guys. It's Pop Gary. Um, I'm just getting online, as you guys know, until I get a crowd here. I'm not talking to anybody, but that's okay. I'm hoping somebody will find this. It's a good, fun little subject. It's called going fishing, and I'm going to talk about going fishing with my wonderful great grandchildren. I have five. Whoops, five. Got to get the camera right. Five of them. I got four boys and a little girl, ages 14 on down to 7. I'm blessed, and I'm going to just give you a little hint. My idea of going fishing is maybe different than some. You parents, you grandmas and grandpas, or like me, a great grandma or a great grandpa. My wife and I love, she's called Nana and I'm called Pop Gary, absolutely love, LOVE, to take the kids fishing. Um, if you were to ask me how much fishing do you get, I don't get any, but I get the joy of having a BALL ball. I'm gonna show you a little picture. I'm not an artist by any means, but you can see this. Oops, we'll figure out which way I'm supposed to turn it. You see up there it says lake, okay? And this is my count them, 5 grandchildren, okay? And you see that the guy has a baseball cap. Well, that's Pop Gary. And if you'll see, there's 4 poles behind me, and I'm working on one pole. Suggestion to you parents, you grandparents, and you great grandparents. The wisest thing you could possibly do, if you can afford it, is whatever you do, if you take 1 or you take 2 kids or 5 kids, even if you take 10, have the same amount of poles in extra. So that way, when they get snagged, if you'll notice this kid right here is hollering out, I'm snagged. Well, guess what? I've got a pole waiting right behind me there. I grab the pole, I hand him the pole so he can keep fishing. And this way, there is absolutely no frustration with the kids. Are you busy? Busier than the bee. And then you'll notice a couple of kids go, I got one. And another kid says, me too. Well, I'm telling you guys, to me, it's a ball. You'll notice I have the ice chest there. And in the ice chest, of course, is soda pops and snacks. My suggestion to all parents, grandparents, or great grandparents, always bring snacks with your kids because it only takes one to say, I'm hungry. And the next thing you know, we're having to go home because they're hungry. Another thing you'll notice that you'll see Nana, um, she's, let's see, I'm trying to get the camera squared away here. She's right there. She's sitting in a chair and she's saying, this book is great. Now, if you see the piece down below, I write, I'm a terrible artist. I'm just trying to give you an example of how much, for me, the blessing is. This is great having a blessed time with the tribe. And that's what we call the kids. My mother, my wife and I, Nana and Pop Gary, call them the tribe. And you got to make sure you got a lot of extra fishing hooks, weights. I don't let the kids fish with lures. The 2 older ones can, but it's easier for me if I have them basically do a little worm fishing. I'm talking about taking them to catch bluegill, crappie if you got a place to go. I've taken them salmon fishing too, but it's a little harder to do that because kids get bored if they don't catch a fish. Trust me. And these kids love to catch fish. A little secret to the dads, grandmas, grandpas, great grandma, grandpas. I have a couple of buckets that I bring along. I'm packed when I'm going into the lake, and I put the fish, obviously, in the buckets. And when they're not looking, I make sure that I let go the fish that are in the buckets because every one of the kids, especially the younger ones, they want to keep everything they catch. So I carefully unhook them, put them in the bucket, and accidentally they disappear. Yeah, I tell the kids, if we're going to go fishing, do you want to eat fish? And they all love fish. I could say that. Oh my goodness, they love fish. They like to actually. I taught them all when they fish, they got to clean. And I'm kind of proud of these boys and girls and the girl. Um, they do a good job cleaning the fish. I give them very very sharp knives. The older ones, the younger ones they get the fun duty at taking the carcasses and stuff and throwing them into a garbage bag. That's their job. And then I give them. I tell them it's an important job. They get the clean fish and put them in a bucket and wash up the clean fish really good before we go to cook. But to me, and again, it takes the patience of Job. But I just love fishing with these kids. It brings out a joy in me, and I love going with my wife because she's a trooper. She doesn't walk real well, but she's a trooper. She'll sit there and read her book. She's done that since we were young marrieds. We used to go fishing. When we first go fishing, she used to fish. After a while, she finally told me the truth that she really didn't like fishing. And that's fine because as long as mama ain't complaining, papa's happy. And so if she could read a book and that's what her favorite thing to do is, well, guess what? She reads her book and watches us and takes pictures and has fun. If you guys ever want to try it, I'm telling you, again, just from Pop Gary's, I've been doing this a long time. Make sure you bring those extra poles because I took two of my grandsons with me. I took my pole. I never got to even get the line wet, but they did because I realized, oh my goodness, they get a snag. One's getting frustrated because the other one's still catching fish. So after that one time, I realized two poles per kid because that way I got one always on the ready. So so when we catch fish, they bring it to me. The older ones, the 13 and 14-year old, they unhook them themselves. But as a whole, I I unhook the fish. We put them into the bucket. And again, that's a miracle. But we probably the last time I went with the kids, we probably caught 50 bluegill. Amazingly, when we got home, there was only 15 bluegill. But it's okay. But they didn't know any better. And I think the older kids realized, I mean, they're wise enough to know what Pop's doing. But when you start cleaning those fish, you realize I'm kind of glad Pop Gary didn't leave all those fish in the bucket. Just a little tidbit note for you guys. But I'm going to tell you something. If you've got a place where you could take your kids fishing, we're very blessed. We've got a lot of ponds, excuse me, where we live. We live in Oregon, so we got a lot of ponds and small lakes. When they plant the trout in March, April, and May, oh my goodness, we take the kids and I tell them you can only catch 5 trout each because we do love eating trout. So that's kind of a joy because they can actually catch my 5 and my grandma's and Nana's 5 too. When we catch those, have taught the kids to play them out. It goes super fast, and trout are very easy to clean. We eat every last bit of them. In fact, it sounds like a lot if you catch 5 each. That's 5 times 7. That's 35 trout. But we have a tribe, counting the adults and the other older kids. You're talking about, these are my grandsons, you're talking about 17 kids and adults that we beat. So hi, Pretty. It sounds like a lot, but it isn't. But it's okay because everybody loves our fried fish. We usually take them, play them out, roll them in a gluten free. I'll tell you the menus later because that's gonna be part of my cook show. But it's gluten free, dairy free, and we cook them up, and it's really good. The key is you should got to be really careful about making sure you have lots of paper towels. So when you cook those fish, you dry them out. But again, that's another story. But I'm going to tell you something. Dads, moms, grandpas, grandmas, great grandpas, great grandpas, and great grandma and grandpas who don't use this stuff because you're handicapped. I walk with a cane, and my wife barely makes it. She's got a cane, and we hobble out there. I usually send the older kids now because they're old enough to know, and they scout the area where they think they want to fish. And yeah, I'm telling you, I'm blessed with my great grandkids. They all carry something. I mean, even the 7-year-old, they all carry a bucket, or they carry a tackle box, or they carry a couple poles. Make sure, guys, that you always bring extra jackets if you're doing this in cold weather, because there's another one. You have to go home if one of them gets cold. And always, always expect at least one of them to fall into the water. They do, they get wet. So I try to bring flip flops for all the kids. So if they accidentally end up in the water, well, guess what? We can get them right off and happy. But I'll tell you, you can't have a better enjoyment to that. Basically, I use worms and the little red. I'll show you this right here. The little red. Oops, sorry, I'm not used to this camera. This little red bobbers right there. See them right there? I use bobbers. The older kids don't like them, but if I use bobbers, I can see that they got a fish on. Otherwise, they catch everything but fish. They cast out with a weight. They always cast it into the bushes. They get tied up, messed up. So the bobber just keeps it just up off the bottom. I do it for trout too, and it works really, really super good. But it takes patience, guys and gals. My wife used to be able to tie hooks. Now it's my daughter, but my wife used to be a heck of a hook tire.
Yeah.
She, and she definitely was good at catching trout. And I tell you something, guys, if you guys want to do something that's a lot of fun and it's a family orientated thing, take them fishing. If you've never done it before, well, eventually I plan to have a fishing channel. And my grandson, my only grandsons, one is 33, one is 25 or 26, something like. God, is he 26, Karen? I think he's 26. But they
Hi, buddy.
they always are in the mood to go places, and they help me a lot. But I've taken them by myself. Don't get me wrong. If it's kind of cold, Grandma won't even go fishing. We also take them crabbing, you guys, and it's you got to watch your kids because you don't want them falling into the ocean. But I'm very cautious where my kids' feet are, where they are, how they pick up the crab nets. The older ones usually pick up most of it. The little ones, I just got wise. I have the older one pull on the rope, and the little ones get behind it, and they're pulling the rope. They think they're really helping, and that's okay because they are. They're taking care of the loose end. But I'll tell you what, fishing is a lot of fun with kids. I, as you know, when you've got 5 great grandchildren, and then you got your wife and you, that's 7. Going on a boat is kind of hard. But we have rented a party boat a few times, and we've taken them out on a party boat. I mean, we're talking about those pontoon boats. They're not, the prices are too bad. We've gone out in those, and it's another thing. So just a lot of fun. Do I get any fishing? No, I don't. I spend most of my time untangling them and keeping them from fighting with each other because all kids, brother, sister, no kid is perfect. I can tell you my grandchildren aren't, great grandchildren aren't, but they're all good kids. And there's just something about you guys when you see that little kid catch a fish, the joy in their heart is beyond comprehension. Um, My little granddaughter, she's kicked him a few times, catching the most fish. She's a pretty good little fisherman. She takes after her grandmother, my daughter. She's outfished us more than one time in my lifetime. I taught her how to fish. And well, we used to have a houseboat, which that's another subject I'm going to talk about, houseboating. We used to have a houseboat. I'll tell you what, we had contests. And her and her best friend, usually they'd outfish us. Don't ever underestimate women. They can fish if they like it. Not every woman likes it. Um, I've had my sister who's outfished me. Women can actually make good hunters too, but most women, including my daughter, they don't like killing animals. But that's a whole nother story, which I plan to have a story on hunting. I used to hunt a lot. I can't anymore because I'm crippled up, but that's okay. I can give you stories. As you can see, I have a gift to gab, and I love telling stories. And I hope I'm not boring you to tears with them, but I do love telling stories to you guys. And those that have listened to my channel before, um, I do love to talk about the Lord. That's my favorite subject. But I wanted to get here and tell you that it isn't just about Jesus' priority to me, but to having fun. You betcha, fishing to me is a lot of fun. I used to go hiking, but when you're crippled up, as a great grandpa, hiking isn't really in the vocabulary. But taking kids hiking, my grandsons take their children, and they go way up into the falls. There's a lot of beautiful waterfalls in Oregon. Um, they always will go up. They haven't been up these falls, and they'll be able to tell my Nana and I that this one's a tough one, Pop. You want to hang out? So we hang out. I love reading the Bible and books too. So we'll sit back at the car, or we'll sit back if it's sunny and read books, and we're just having just as much fun. But as God is my witness, if you guys ever want to have fun with your kids, take them fishing. I don't know where you live. I don't even know who's listening, but there's got to be a pond, a wharf on the ocean, a small lake. If you don't have the money to get a boat, fishing off the shore, fishing off the docks, it's all feasible. Like I say, I plan to do a lot of filming. My grandson is going to help me, and we're going to take the grandchildren, great grandchildren, and we're going to show you that don't know how. We're going to show you how to fish with kids. I can't wait to do it. It's a little cold right now this time of year. I've caught a few salmon this year, but that's a whole nother story. Salmon's a tough thing to do with kids. But trout fishing, lake fishing, ocean fishing, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I haven't taken all my great grandchildren down, but now that I got youngest one is 7, I want to take them surf fishing. Something you got to watch like a hawk. You get yourself too involved where you're throwing out a pole. I don't throw out a pole when I take them fishing, but I help them hook up, and they're becoming quite the fishermen when it comes to catching perch. The red tip perch are a lot of fun. But again, we plan to take you on some adventures like that so that dads and grandpas and grandmas, Grandma Nana, she don't go on the surf fishing ones. The last time I went, I had to walk down. The reason I know the counting the steps because my for me. They went down a couple of times and informed me, "Hey, pops, it's 135 steps." I said, "Well, if nobody's in a hurry, I'll get down them and I'll get back up. I just don't do it fast. So I'll go on out there and get down to the beach. We'll walk out there and we'll do some surf fishing. I won't fish off the jetties with my great grandchildren. The jetties are a lot of fun. I've fished it many times, but it's very dangerous for taking young kids out there. It don't take much to get a sneaker wave to wipe you right off the rock. So I don't suggest that with people. But I do suggest definitely, if anything, lake fishing and go catch planted trout, all you got to do is type into your computer where they planting the fish and what time. Now, they're not going to give you the exact date because they don't want people to just go out there and camp right over the fish they're planting. But just figure if they say they're going to plant them this week, then sometime in this week they're going to catch fish. Because I'm retired, if the kids are out of school, I can go trout fishing. Otherwise, we wait till Saturday and we take them fishing. Or because it's March and April, when the daylight saving time comes in April, when they get out of school, we've got a couple of ponds that are pretty close to us that they plant. So we'll head up there and fish an hour and a half, 2 hours a day.
Wow.
But you guys, I can't wait to get some films to show you just how much fun it is fishing with kids. So it was a short thing. Sorry I took so much time, but I'm just trying to practice on the website. So these are dry runs. Eventually, that you'll be able to follow me. And my grandson, who's going to be the cameraman, he loves to fish. Don't get me wrong, he loves to fish, but me too. But somebody has to do the camera, and somebody has to do the hook tying. And if I'm the hook tire, everything's going smooth. If all of a sudden he has to stop to do hooks, guess what? Then we don't get to film. And we're going to try to film these things. Once we get organized, my grandson will do the editing. I couldn't tell you T from tittle. I don't know anything about computers, but I know he does. So we'll take these films. Not right now. He just told me to get online and get comfortable, and I am comfortable talking to you.
Coming at you. Coming at you.
Karen, please, I'm online, honey. Karen. 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 I'm online.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm online, honey.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you were hollering.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like I say, we're doing practice. If I ever do this where we're doing cook shows and stuff, we can't. I'll have to have just my grandson in here. Right now, I got the camera mounted on. You guys know more than I do about it, but I got it mounted on my computer, and I'm learning, guys, just learning. But you guys have a great day, and I hope I didn't bore you to tears, but I do really look forward to talking to you guys online and be able to take you on some adventures. Most of our adventures will probably start once they start planting trout. And we'll take you all the way through the summer with fishing adventures and also cook shows because I got to show people how to do trout, bluegill, bass, salmon, gluten, and dairy free. Not easy to do because a lot of people, it took me a long time because I got, 17 people in this family and everybody's got their own taste bud. So I've had to learn and learn and learn, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. And I hope you guys will be when I get this thing moving. God bless you guys. You have a great day, and I'll probably get back on tomorrow and shout at you again. I got a lot of different subjects I love talking about, but I wanted to start with this kid thing. Excuse my artwork. An artist, I'm not. My granddaughter is quite the artist, so I told her I might have her make up a couple of pictures of lakes and stuff. Well, my grandson is one heck of a editor. He knows how to make the films do right, shorten it up, so he gets down to the point. Because he does say I have a tendency of gabbing too much. That's just me. Call me Pop Gary the Gabber. But I love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
That yellow